Hey everybody, this is Kevin Copeland, the Big Kahuna here at Beach Mac. Hope everybody had a great holiday weekend. It's now Tuesday, July 6, 2010. Wanted to talk a little bit about surge protection for your electronic equipment and your computers and home theater and all that good stuff. Now, if you're using surge protection currently, great. You shouldn't have a whole lot to worry about. If you're not using surge protection, you need to use surge protection. It is summertime here in Hampton Roads right now. We're off well into summer now, and as we all know, anybody who's lived here for more than a year, summertime tends to get a little thunderstormy, especially in the evenings during the summer when it gets really hot. Of course, thunderstorms mean electrical activity. Electrical activity means potential for power-related damage to your equipment. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about best practices for surge protection. There's okay, there's good, there's better levels of protection, and we're going to talk about those. Now, I hope that you're not using just the okay level of stuff. Now, the okay level would be things like the typical power strip that you pick up for $8 or $12 at Walmart. You know what I'm talking about, the ones that are about yay big and have about 6 or 8 outlets on them, a little red switch and maybe a little button on the end to reset it. That's not going to cut it for your expensive equipment. It's just not going to be enough in case something comes through. Those could be used peripherally, but we'll set those aside for now. And so that's kind of like the bottom of the barrel. That's the last thing you want to use. The top thing you want to use is going to be a battery backup. Now, those tend to be very expensive. They can be $100, $200, $300 on up, depending on the size of the battery, the number of ports that are on it, the number of outlets that are on it, and the configuration. That can tend to be overkill for most people, but if you've got a lot of money invested in your equipment, it might not be a bad thing to do. Now, I've got a sample of a battery backup here. The one I have here is a little smaller than normal, than the bigger ones, but I want to show it to you because it has some features on it that I think are important. Now, this is an old APC backup, so this is an older one. Has a battery in it. It's really, really heavy. And, of course, it has a few outlets here. It's got the little power button here, little status lights along the front, and importantly, we have cable connections back here. Now, why would it need cable connections? And why would it need phone ports and Ethernet ports? Well, this is made for sort of an office or corporate environment, so it'll protect all assets in the event of a power surge. Now, there are some intermediate surge protectors that are configured somewhat like the one I just showed you. They're kind of in between the power strip and this one. Now, the ones I'm talking about don't have batteries in them necessarily, but they do have anywhere between 4 and 12 or 16 outlets, depending on which one you go for. But more importantly, they have those connectors. They have the coaxial connectors and the Ethernet and phone connectors. And the reason those are important is because power doesn't just come from the power lines. Power comes from any conductive surface, conductive material. And when you plug a coaxial cable from your wall into your cable modem, and then you plug that cable modem with an Ethernet cable into your computer, that is a connection. And if that connection is not protected through a surge protector, it can come straight through and zap your Ethernet port like that. That tends to happen quite a bit here in Hampton Roads in the summer. End up servicing a lot of Macs that have Ethernet ports blown. When I was at Apple, those are typically covered under warranty. They're not supposed to be, but usually they'll cover them. Your mileage may vary, but it'll save you a headache from going into the store if your machine's no longer under warranty. So that's it. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about surge protection. Now, A side note, I just wanted to mention this as well. USB and FireWire also carry power. So if you have any of those devices connected to your computer during a thunderstorm, if their power is not connected to a protected source, that's a vulnerability for you as well. So make sure that everything you have connected to your computer is well protected. Of course, the best practice, if you're home during a thunderstorm and things are connected, you might just want to unplug them temporarily till the heavy activity passes over. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. Again, I'm Kevin Copeland with BeachMac. We're an independent Mac and Apple products consulting and support business here in Virginia Beach. You can find us on the web at beachmac.net. You can find us on Twitter. Our username is BeachMac, a little @ in front, at BeachMac. Of course, you can find us on Facebook. Just do a search for BeachMac and we'll be in there. You can reach me via email at kevin@beachmac.net, or you can call us on the phone at 757-255-8622. We're here for any questions you have related to Apple products, Macs, anything with an Apple logo on it, and anything that you use with the things that have an Apple logo on it. Until next time, see ya.